I can't tell you how gratifying it is to be here. Who'd have thunk a little town of Toledo, Ohio, and here we are in Sydney doing this. It's really very moving to me. So I want to pick up today on this theme of conscious leadership, wisdom, and talk about the journey that I've been on, or the journey that I think leaders need to go on if they're to arrive at both enhanced capacity and capability that meets complexity, but also the kind of consciousness and wisdom it's going to take to lead through what we're in the midst of now. I could spend my time here with you in the next 40 minutes or so in a nicely crafted, well-honed, theoretically dense, and integrated, conceptual, business-relevant argument that, you know, like, and I'm not going to do that. I want to talk to you about how I really think leadership evolves. I want you to see the passion of the founder. What's behind the leadership circle is a lifelong... I've cared about one thing my whole life. I've cared about only one thing. The deep ground of being, the spiritual ground of being that I think great leadership springs from. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk from the voice of the wisdom traditions. Poetry, mythology, spirituality have been speaking to us for millennia about how greatness, real greatness, emerges. Scott Peck once said, "Life is spiritual boot camp." I think leadership is spiritual boot camp. I think it's a spiritual process because you have to be transformed, and because it calls on the highest and best within us. I think it's boot camp because it's hard. And I'm saying that from the, I used to be a consultant. 10 years ago, I was a sole practitioner. Now I'm running a global organization. That's been a heck of a learning curve. Specifically, I want to talk about what's going on in the transitional space between the stages that Jennifer talked about. Because this is the time when the old self, the old identity, the old meaning-making maps and systems are actually melting away, and the new form hasn't emerged yet. And it's a very disconcerting, disorienting process. That's why it's called in mythology a hero's journey, a heroine's journey. And I want to talk to you about the processes, to add to some practices that Jennifer talked about, that actually, I think, accelerate or facilitate this transformation. Processes I've used in my own life.